So there are ways to improve communication and efficiency with self-service tools. What I'm talking about is speeding up the transactional type conversations that occur or eliminating them entirely so that you don't have to make phone calls or send emails, but people, your customers, your staff know what's going on because they can get the information themselves and self-service. In today's environment, good, effective communication is crucial. Personal relationships are certainly important, and I'm not downplaying them at all, but there are certain types of communication that the relationship part isn't really the important part. And the relationship type communications, conversations should occur in a more intentional fashion. Calling in to find out what the status of an order is, or when is this going to ship, or how do I return X, Y, and Z. I mean, those are things that people often don't even want to make a phone call for or send an email and wait for the answer. They just want to get to it. That's the transactional communication I'm referring to. So we're looking for some mechanism to create concise and clear communication that transmits the most amount of information with the least amount of effort. So we want to reduce the amount of calories we burn as we work. Otherwise, we get worn out, we get tired. Yeah, so we might have to reduce reliance on traditional methods, meaning, well, let's stop the phone calls and emails when they're not really necessary. And we can leverage technology to make this happen. And what I'm talking about is a Microsoft 365 or other tools where we have applications like Teams and SharePoint that gives us a way to gain insight into what's going on or provide mechanisms for customers or staff to look up the status of orders or know where to upload files so they don't have to send an email with an attachment and where to retrieve files so they can go look for information. They know where to find it. So contract information, documents about whatever it is, design drawings, etc. They can go find those things on their own without having to ask you to send an attachment or make a phone call, which really helps to stay in the flow when you're working. When you're able to move from task A to B to C, back to task A, B, C. Now I need to do task D, E, F. You know what the process is. You're in a flow. You can just work. But when suddenly, what's the answer to this question? Oh, where do I find that answer? I got to talk to so and so. You make the phone call. They're not at their desk. You send an email. You wait 3 hours for a response. Being able to just, what's the answer? Click. Oh, status is this. Got my answer. And you can continue in the flow. That makes your day go well. It reduces the amount of energy you spend working. It makes you more efficient, more productive. You enjoy your job better. You get more work done in the same amount of time. So there's some mechanisms that we can do for this. So shared task lists. SharePoint has lists, and we can leverage that tool for keeping track of a whole bunch of things and giving people access to those lists, which they can filter, sort, update, etc. Kanban boards, which is just another way of looking at a list, and self-service portals. So this is more of a place to go find the list that has the information you need. But when we're dealing with contracts, agreements, files, documents, drawings, those are files that have to sit somewhere, but a self-service portal has a place for those files. Person who needs to get to those files just needs access to that self-service portal, and they can take care of themselves. What all of this does is, of course, increase efficiency. It reduces reliance on having to talk to people, having to send emails, having to wait for answers to come back. It will enhance collaboration from a file and even task list perspective because you're still interacting with those people, but you're just doing it through these technical mechanisms. And you also have the ability to post quick messages to people through the chat type features that are inside of Teams or the comment type features that are inside of Word and SharePoint lists and whatever. That's still there if you need it. From a customer satisfaction perspective, let's table satisfaction for a minute and let's talk about the fact that you're an easier vendor to work with. So if your company is easy to work with, your customers are more interested in working with you than a competitor. If you're easier to work with, your customers' overhead goes down. So they like you because it saves them money. Again, that makes you a preferred vendor. Self-service isn't new. The tools that are out there are just getting better. Again, I'm talking about Teams and I'm talking about SharePoint. And it's just a matter of learning how to leverage those tools. Certainly got plenty of resources on my YouTube channel and on my website. And I'm always available for a quick conversation to talk about how you can do things better. Feel free to reach out to me or check out my website or check out my YouTube channel to get information, get ideas that'll help you make your business, get rid of the invisible killers that are eating your cash.